guys, this is Matthew from Vlogger One-on-One. Today we have a very special guest. John has had a channel that I've watched for a very long time, and I finally was able to meet him because I'm here in Tokyo. So without further ado, let's meet John and Only in Japan. First of all, when and why did you start your channel Only in Japan?
Wow, so I came up with the idea actually after the Great Tohoku Tsunami, after the earthquake in 2011. But for the last, I'd say, what was it, 10 years now, I've been working with NHK World, a TV station here, on a show called Tokyo Eye, as well as a couple other programs. But I wanted to do something my way, my style. And after the earthquake, I said, yeah, this is a time where we can rebuild and a chance for me to use my skills as a reporter to make something on YouTube, and that's what I've been doing.
You have two channels now.
Yeah.
One was started in just recently.
Right.
The Go channel.
Right.
How many videos do you have on your Go channel?
The main channel is really highly edited videos. I kind of compare them to programs.
Yeah, really high quality.
The Only in Japan Go channel, that's all live streams. And there's about, what, 80 or 90 videos on there right now.
Why did you choose live stream? Did you say, this needs to happen, I need to start doing more of those?
Yeah. Well, I think it was the fact that because the show that I do on the main channel is so highly edited, I can't get enough content out there, maybe twice a month. Doing live streams allows me on the spot to just tell a story. And that's what I like to do at the Only in Japan channel. I like to tell a story, but you can do it through live streaming, which is kind of cool because anything can happen when you're live.
You can't say, oh, I gotta edit that out. There's no choice.
No, it's on the record.
It is, it's there. Have you had any really funny moments on your live channel that like, what is the one that like, you could talk about, that you could like discuss?
Oh yeah, there was an episode in Shinsekai, which is a place in Osaka. It's called Retro, it's like the retro town of Osaka. It was made 100 years ago. And my friend Kevin and I were just walking down the alley, and there was a guy he whipped it out and started to pee in the alley, and we're live, right? I can't edit that out. You know what? I have a problem with paying money for kakigori. It's pretty much just ice.
Ice with a little bit of flavored syrup on top, right? Yeah.
He's taking a leak, he's taking a leak against the wall.
Here,
the guy was taking a leak against the wall.
That one.
Oh, he's thinking that dude. Is that okay? There's so many things because you can't plan everything, and that's what I like about the live thing. Everything is just spontaneous. There was a vending machine. I call it the vending machine house of horrors because it's this weird vending machine place where there must be like 100 vending machines in this one area. And I think on the second floor there was a homeless guy living there. Kind of freaked us out, and that was live as well. So,
if I was homeless, I might choose a place above a ton of vending machines to live.
Yeah, right.
That might be a good place to hang out.
It's very convenient.
What is your Only in Japan elevator pitch?
Okay, I've been in Japan for 20 years, which separates me from the other vloggers on the YouTube platform, and I call it Japan from the inside out. If you want to know the history, you want to know the culture, you want to know the food, you want to know everything about Japan, that's what I do from a journalistic point of view, but fun.
You just finished hitchhiking. How many videos did you make during that hitchhiking series?
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why I started that live channel, because when you're out there hitchhiking, it feels like you're alone, but when you're live streaming, you don't. I'm bringing maybe 500 people watching me at the time.
Yeah.
I guess, wow, it took me 45 rides to get from Kagoshima, the whole country, to Wakkanai. I think I live streamed about 15-20 times.
Yeah.
Some of them were quite long, and the ride stopped live, which is really cool. So you get a chance to see somebody picking me up.
You almost feel like you're part of the adventure more than, say, an edited journey, you know?
I think so, because if you've invested 45 minutes to watch this guy get picked up by a ride, well, you feel the same elation that I feel when somebody does actually stop. And, and
somebody showed up.
Yeah, like, what? They stopped! Somebody stopped! And yeah, that was really cool to show people that experience. So I also did a Kickstarter from this, and that raised almost like $30,000. So it's pretty crazy for me to see that kind of support, because I didn't expect that.
As YouTubers, we got a whole new set of tools for us, you know?
Yes.
Especially from the beginning of YouTube. We have live streams, we have chances for financing and things like that. It's really quite amazing. That
did not exist when I started about 4 or 5 years ago.
Are you a primary YouTuber as far as your life in Japan?
I would say my job, if they asked me, I'm a program director and a reporter.
Okay.
I would say that is what I was doing. I started teaching English here I taught children, so I have that like natural immaturity, which
works.
Helps.
That plays on the channel.
That helps, especially you need that creativity, and that helps, especially in a place like Japan, because it's like a fantasy land to a lot of people. The anime, mangas, everything is sort of really easy to do here.
If you were to pick a couple of videos that you could direct anybody watching this video to see, what would you choose?
Wow.
And I'll include them in the video so that they can take a look.
Sure. The quality of the storytelling has gotten better over time, but the one that's most popular is the Tokyo Capsule Hotel experience. I thought that was important because people, the tourists are watching that because everybody knows about capsule hotels, like staying in a box, like a coffin, right? But for Japanese, this is a place that you crash. It's not actually a hotel, it's something you do for tourism. It's a place because it can't be helped. You missed the last train, or you're a businessman and you just need a place to crash. So I did that video mostly to show people how to use a capsule hotel and what the Japanese point of view is too. And that did pretty well.
Okay.
So I recommend watching that.
All right.
And some of the later stuff, one on Aogashima, a tropical island, which is Tokyo. But
yeah, I saw that.
It looks like it could be
good drone shots in that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good drone shots. I got the drone out for that one. Each one is its own episode in the sense that it's like a program.
Right.
So I think if you get started, you might watch more than one.
That's what happens when you find a good channel. Okay, a lot of vloggers follow this program. They like to see different vloggers and what they use as tools as they travel around and do their videos. What do you use as your primary and, you know, like the fun stuff? What do you like to use when you're recording your videos?
Right. Disclaimer, it's about the story. It's not about the equipment.
Right.
Just so you know, it's always about the story first.
You could use your iPhone and make some fantastic videos.
And I do.
And we have.
And I do, because this is the DJI Osmo Mobile. I bought an iPhone 7 Plus to go along with it. The camera is phenomenal. You want to have stabilized video as much as possible. This tool helps so much. Not just for live streaming, it is a really good tool for live streaming, but for insert videos. There's moments, I think, when this run and gun kind of video lifestyle, where you just have to pull out the camera and get something, you need to stay small and compact. I picked the Micro Four Thirds platform, the Panasonic GH series, because Micro Four Thirds, the lenses are maybe half the size of Canon lenses and half the price, which is even better, right? But the quality for YouTube, this is more than adequate. And since the GH5 came out in March, the internal stabilization on it is fantastic. So handheld, you don't get any of those jitters. It's really smooth. They've included an XLR port, so like you can have more pro level audio. Yeah. Which is really good. You can attach some wireless mic units if you want to it.
Now that records in 4K if you want, right?
It does 4K. Gosh, now if you have the cards fast enough, I think you can do like the bitrate 400 megabytes per second. It's like massive. I use 25p. This might be an important note for anyone who's thinking about filming in Japan. You want to use the PAL format in 25p so you don't get any flicker. If you're using NTSC, which is the 29.9 frame rate, you want to keep that at 100 shutter speed. If it's not on there, you're gonna get these massive flickers. I don't know if you've noticed.
I do from time to time.
It's sort of a secret, but if you shoot in PAL 25 or PAL 50 frames per second, because PAL is 25 frames per second, you don't have that problem no matter the shutter speed.
That's a great tip. Because I have often seen that flicker, and I switched to 30 frames, and I was like thinking that the frame rate would help.
Yeah.
You know, but if maybe I was looking at the wrong solution to the problem.
Yeah, that's a shortcut, and a lot of people, it took me years before I could figure that out. When you come to Japan, you want to shoot in PAL 25p or shutter speed 100, where you're going to get that. We call it the Kanto flicker, because it's just the Tokyo area. Osaka's fine. Yeah. It's the voltage that they use for the electricity.
Interesting. Yeah. You know, it's funny, we talk about epiphany moments where you learn something, you're like, damn, for me, it was ripple delete. When I learned ripple delete, I'm like, cut, move, cut, move, cut, move, cut, move, cut, you know, but ripple delete just does that whole thing. Really nice. You have a drone from time to time, that's a Mavic. I've been using the DJI Mavic Pro. Something to point out for anybody filming in Japan, Tokyo is almost all no-fly. It's red. Don't even try, because the police will. I've had friends that have been busted. There's fines up to $5,000, and imprisonment, deportation is not a nice thing, especially if you live here. Deported means you can't come back for 7 years. Don't use a drone in Tokyo. DJI has a map of all the places you can fly. 3 rules: 30 meters
from cars, buildings, people, and no higher than 150 meters. You know those
150
rules.
meters.
I know, but you know those rules. You shouldn't have any problem with drones.
Yeah.
You won't get in trouble.
But I saw the bay there doesn't have red around it, so I might go to the bay and go up and shoot back, and then.
Yeah, you
Sea
can.
Milk, I'm talking to you, buddy. Sea Milk is Lawai86. He's a friend of mine. He's a vlogger. He was in Tokyo. He's like, hey, can you do some drone footage and send it to me? I'm like, I don't know. Last question.
Sure.
What is the future of? Are you going to lean more towards the Go channel? Are you going to? I mean, like, what is it like? Like, you're looking 5 or 10 years down the road.
Future. Down the road. You know, I take it year by year. The format that I have is is very much program oriented. The opening is a little bit old. I have to change a lot of things. There's other YouTubers that have been helping me with ideas on how I can change. Yeah, how I can make the show better, and that's really been really helpful. I think you have to listen to the viewers and find out what's working, what's not working. Pick topics that sync with your audience. I'll be still doing this. You know, when you get to 40 years old, what you're doing is pretty much what you're going to be doing. I mean,
how old are we?
But you know, if I was in my 20s, yeah, I could use this as a springboard to another career in TV or something. Yeah, you know what? I've worked in Japanese TV. This is much better.
Yeah.
This is much better, and the growth in what I'm doing here, inbound tourism. It's right now Japan needs people like me.
Yeah.
More than ever, because Japanese have a tough time connecting with. They're very humble. They don't like to talk about themselves, people in Japan. I think it's just everywhere, maybe not America. I mean, I don't know. I like to talk about myself.
Yeah.
But in Japan, people are humble. They're not good at talking about themselves. They need a third party to do that, and that's where...
I mean, if you have the confidence to do it, and you've got the message,
yeah,
and the tools to do it.
We have the tools,
Yeah.
and we have the skills, and if you're a storyteller, Japan needs more YouTubers. Yeah.
And I was talking to him before. We have sort of wholesome stories. Like a lot of our stuff is good feeling stuff, and there's not a lot of that in the world today.
There's not enough.
There's not enough of that.
Not enough of
so, you know, we're doing our part.
Want to have a positive story. That's what I like about the channel. There's lots of places where I can go negative, I think, but you want to leave with a smile on your face, and I like to tie it up into a happy ending.
Right.
The joke needs a punchline, and the ending is usually that happy smile moment, right?
Yeah.
You need that. You need that.
Well, thank you so much, John. And if you're interested in watching his stuff, I'll leave all of the episodes we talked about in the bottom description. Yeah, take a look at his channel and become longtime subscribers, because I think his stuff not only has come so far, but is going so much farther. And you know, there's a lot of vloggers that come and go. You know, their channels come and their channels, but you know, there's a really solid brand and a really solid channel that's going to go to the distance, and that's Only in Japan. So check him out. Take it easy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Jayoe. How's it going?
Good. Oh, what a day.
You look tired.
Yes.
So just first step here, and then just you can use
there's
these.
a way to get in.
Kind of. Some people like try to whip their legs around. It gets, yeah. Gets a little messy.
Okay.
Put your head back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Oh, so you really have to get used to it a little bit. It takes probably a couple of...
It does. The first time you ride it, it feels a little awkward, honestly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what am I doing?
And then this is turning.
Oh, okay.
Gotta be able to turn.
Am I going uphill?
Yeah, the gear change. So you're actually shifting up. So do it the other way. Like, there we go. All the way down to...
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. A leisurely pace.
I can tell you're taller than me too, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm really reaching.
A little bit. You should see some of the Japanese people try and ride it. They're super tiny.
All right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now it's really easy. So.
And then it has an overdrive gear, which is kind of cool. Hit your ankle to that button. Now. Whoa! Yeah. So if you're going downhill and you can really pick up some speed, you shift it into overdrive and you just go super fast.
How do you do a K-turn? Yeah, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does feel like a sports car, sort of. You're in a kind of like a bucket seat, really low to the ground. You can feel.
You feel the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel the road.
And you always have a seat.
You always have a seat.
You always are relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Japan, believe it or not, we have the best trains here, but it's a car culture.
Yeah.
It's a car culture. So if you're categorized as a car, you probably have more rights.
Brakes.
Ah, where are the brakes?
Down there. Silver. And the brakes are on one side, so you can have one hand always ready for video if you want. You know what I mean? So you can ride one-handed pretty easily.
All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The only problem in Japan is some of the bike openings are a little bit more narrow than the actual width of the tires.
Yeah.
So
how
I get a
many
little
kilometers have you been on this thing?
5 to 10,000.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah.
If you're sitting, it's a lot easier because you don't get that bike butt.
Oh man, no shoulder, no neck,
shoulders,
all that
neck.
stuff. Yeah, it's super cool.
It really distributes the work across the entire body.